That's how much they. We're all good. Okay, we're going to be loud enough that everybody can hear us here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Good evening and warm welcome tonight to the Mecurials tasting at the Mercat Grill. Don't get all excited. Yay! Woo! Woo! See, at least somebody's cheering for me, unlike Chrome Dome here. Yes. It's obviously a nice way to spend a lovely evening with your friends, your colleagues, having a nice time, a few drams and some good food. But I've been a friend of Tastebuds for what? How many? About 12 years or so now?
At least that.
About 12 years. But my
11 years too long.
Aye, but my community service finishes next month, so that's us done and dusted. But the one thing about Tastebuds, he's got deep pockets and short arms, so that's a couple of nice compliments I've gave to him anyway. So, anyway, as you can tell here, we've got Wheel Peel, Tatty Bald Head Peel. There he is, Neil Forbes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
And I've got to tell you, I've got feelings, by the way. I'm quite a sensitive soul. Ish.
Aye, feelings with the tip of your finger, knowing your wallet, bringing out money for any drink. Aye, that's it. Centre of the universe. And of course, that's where we're coming from tonight. We are coming from Whitecraig, which is the centre of the universe. Is that right?
No.
No, he debates that. He debates that. And of course, on the sound division, the camera, we have T-Boney Tony. So thank you very much for coming. He's the whiz kid that puts it all broadcasting out, because we've got folk from all over the place. If I swipe, I can see who's sending some comments. But we'll come to that anyway. So we've got a good fun packed night tonight. We've got lots going on. If you want to just talk us through the three whiskies, just to give a overview what we're about to talk about.
Absolutely, Graham. He's selected them, by the way. I've nothing to do with it. But the first one we've got to taste tonight is a Fetter Cairn Faircairn, they're all Highland actually. All three are Highland today. Faircairn's in the middle of nowhere, just outside Brecon. We'll tell you a bit more about that as we go along. And the second one is Glenglassaugh, which is another Highland. I think it's Portsoy, just outside Buckie, which is quite a new distillery as well. So it's quite an interesting one. We've done a few different expressions from Glenglassaugh, but not this one in particular. And we're going to finish off with a nice cask strength Old Pulteney, a good old salty favourite from way up the north of Wick from there. So all three, some good interesting stuff there. I love to describe them all with my colours, and there's some great colours within these three whiskies, so I'm looking forward to tasting them. The only one I really know is this one, Graham.
That's good. You'll be under pressure tonight, and of course the reason why you know he's no paid for them has nothing to do, because he wouldn't spend that amount of money on them, I can assure you that. So
I'm a poor pensioner, can't
that's
afford
it.
that.
But before we get ourselves excited, who do we have in the room? We actually have somebody's birthday tonight. Yes, we have another Tatty Peel. Birthday boy, I can see the resemblance. Both athletes.
I'm 40 years younger.
I was going to sing happy birthday, maybe we could do that later for him. Would you like that, Davey? No. Right, we'll do it later on for him, we'll do it later on. And then who else? We've got Davy Pringle, he was at the Bonnyrigg Rose game earlier on, so we were cheering them on. And the boys over here are having a nice night, and of course we've got Vincent, one of the locals that comes in. And the reason why we've actually picked a Feta Cairn is because he likes Feta Cairns. Okay. So there you go. At least I knew I was guaranteed one person to come tonight. Brian Johnston and the boys hiding over there, and we've got some visitors from sunny Pennycook. Yes, the VIPs from Pennycook, and we've got Pepe all the way from over the water there. Was it Belgium? Netherlands. It was it. I better watch what I'm saying.
Vast improvement in Pennycook, that's for bloody sure. Christ.
Anyway, I'll say a joke later on, but anyway,
okay,
watch what I'm saying. And then we've got Aggie.
Your mother's here.
And we've got Aggie Baggy and Pork Chop and the other hands that are sitting over there. And one thing you maybe didn't know, that Dad and Neil used to work in the police together. There you go. Right. But Dad got out as quick as he could. Didn't want to work with you.
No far behind him.
Yeah.
I broke him.
That's it. Do you know that I got arrested the other day there for downloading the whole Wikipedia? But I told them I could explain everything. Anyway, right. Anyway, what's the fastest fluid in the planet? What's the fastest fluid in the planet? It's milk, because it's pasteurised before you've seen it. Boom, 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 boom. And they get better than this. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Anyway, shall we kick ourselves on and then just get started before I get more jokes going?
Aye, we'll
Has everybody got a wee frisky whiskey in front of them? Okay, we've got number one here.
Number one is a Feta Cairn, Graham. Which says a Highland. Feta Cairn is a small village. It's just sort of west of Brecon. I don't know if anyone's been there. You would drive past it on the road up to Aberdeen. But I've cut across it a couple of times with clients recently, and it's a fantastic wee village. I've never managed the distillery yet, and there's an old military road goes from Feta Cairn right up over a Boyne. Highly recommend it sometime there. But anyway, that's got nothing whatsoever to do with the whisky to do. It's owned by Pint Mackay. We've had it for about 14 years, I think, there. It dates way back to the early 1800s. It's somewhere about 1820 or thereabouts, 1823, 4, there or thereabouts. But it's quite an understated whisky. Feta Cairn, the standard is a 12-year-old expression, which is pretty rough, pretty straightforward. Not a lot to it. But we'll have a wee taste of the 16. Graham's decided to choose a 16-year-old here, which is 46% alcohol by volume. And it's matured in ex-bourbon casks. How do we know that? As I always say, just have a quick look at your glass there, and as soon as you see that lovely golden colour like David Pringle's t-shirt, I'll tell you what, this will smell damn sight better than Pringle's will anyway, that's for sure. Now you have a wee look there, that lovely light golden colour, that tells us it's matured in American oak, generally in bourbon casks.
Any fake tan?
No, I don't think there's any fake tan. Not that colour, Graham. And it's non-chill filtered as well. The non-chill filter is actually they extract the oils, they chill it down very quickly to about 1 degrees, 2 degrees centigrade, extracts the oils, it doesn't impact on the flavour, it's just aesthetically looking, it looks better, because if it's not got that done, it clouds a wee bit with a touch of water in it. And they reckoned in about the 90s, the cloud of whisky wasn't very good for the international market, and particularly folk in Pennycook, you know.
But if as long as it's over 46%, it doesn't cloud when you put the water in.
It
Is
should,
that right?
it should,
Yeah, it should.
46.
If it's under 46, it'll go cloudy.
Point of that. So we've got to have a wee sugar of the glass for our friends from Netherlands, not from Holland, I would presume. Yeah, yeah. It's a wee bit between East Lothian and Mid Lothian, between Holland and Netherlands. I know that much. But you have a wee look at it. Very light, very delicate. All the legs coming away very, very quickly there. So again, that just reassures us it's only American oak bourbon cask.
Is it long legs or is it wee stumpy things?
Wee skinny ones like yours.
Aye, like mine. I know you like the fat dumpy ones.
So have a wee nose at that. Just take it to your nose. An easy way to nose it is just keep your mouth open, take it to nostril, one at a side. The first thing I'm getting at is really heavy citrus, really, really strong citrus. A wee bit vanilla, lemon, lime, dried fruit. It's quite unusual for citrus. I'm getting sultanas. I'm not getting any vanilla. I've been getting vanilla from that, which is quite unusual not to get vanilla.
I thought there would be a bit of
You're
vanilla.
getting a bit dryness from it. But again, very woody. And again, this is what I don't like about the Fettercairn 12-year-old. It's really, really oaky. It's like a sherry, albeit it's never been in a sherry cask. It's just that sort of woody, oaky sort of nose to it. But this is a bit more sweeter. So we'll have a wee taste of it now. Don't put any water in it just now. Have we got the Mecurials water?
Well, it's funny. Yes, everybody's got Mecurials water in front of them except for us. Let me go and track some water down.
I was up there last week. I was on Isle of Lewis last week.
you?
Aye.
Excellent.
Very, very short on the finish. Really, really sharp on the finish. Dry. I couldn't get the vanilla on the nose, but you're certainly getting on the palate right away. Just dry. And one I always use, people of a certain vintage, your mother would have the stocky vanilla in the cupboard to make the custard with, and you stuck it on your tongue, and it was sweet, but it stuck to your tongue because it was that dry. That's what this reminds me of. It's not my favourite, but it's actually very pleasant.
I think it's very pleasant.
A lot better on the 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of the citrus coming through there. Definitely vanilla, dried fruits. I'm getting quite a bit of grass. A wee bit of grass coming through, and it's sort of cut grass, very similar to the Glenkinchie. Really, really short in the finish. Let's try it.
I think that's very pleasant. The other ranges, what we've got the 16 in that, we've got the 22, or the 18, the 22, and the 28. But they've also got another edition out. Have you heard about the warehouse editions that they've done?
Yeah, I've never tasted it.
The warehouse is lovely. This is the warehouse number 14, which is the done warehouse number. Was it number 2? They've done 3 batches of that, and now they've moved on to warehouse 14. And I think it's quite sweet. It's a lovely wee dram. So it's certainly worth a wee shot. Have a wee sugar like that. Then he take a swig. He'll have a bottle.
Very sweet. Yeah, very sweet.
Like me.
Very much. So put a wee touch of water in it there. You get your wee bit of water in. Take it back to your nose. Again, that really does soften it. A couple of drops in that completely soften. You get a longer sort of nose on it, sort of stiffer nose, but sort of okay. Citrus is more Seville oranges than the lemon and lime, and a final wee taste. Wow, that's far better on the finish. The neat, I just found the finish very short on the tongue. I'm getting it right over the tongue here. Getting the dryness, the vanilla, dried fruit, sort of tropical fruit.
Yeah.
Getting a wee bit sort of banana, pineapple.
Banana.
But far, far superior with a touch of water, that one.
Yeah.
Like all sort of bourbon, ex-bourbon, sort of American oak finish. But it actually changes the finish on it from very short finish to a sort of medium long. Just sits there on the tongue. I'll tell you what, vastly improved with a touch of water.
Definitely.
Vastly
I think
yeah.
that's about a 60-70 bottle of whiskey. And just to say, I've actually got the 30-year-old and I've got a bottle of the 40-year-old in the house. And when we launch the Mecurials officially, I'm going to bring the 40-year-old out, and everybody that signs up, I'll actually get a shot of the 40-year-old. And if you actually Google the price of a 40-year-old Fettercairn, I think it's sitting about $2,500, and it's one of the things that I've got up my sleeve for it. Now, going on about the Fettercairn, do you know anything about the bottle, the shape of the bottle?
Nope.
If you can see the shape of the bottle there, folks, you'll see how it's got the little rim round the top. Yep. and then it's got the lines coming down. You see the lines coming down on the bottom.
Is that off the pot still?
It's off the pot still. Yeah, it's on the pot
cool
still. If you go into the distillery for the tour, you'll see how they have the ring round the top of the pot still, and it the water down the side of it, obviously to cool it down, to bring it back down, to push it back up, and that's what that's for in the bottle.
I didn't know
And
they've got a copper ring at the top of the lin arm,
yeah,
and they cool it, which apparently drops the temperature and keeps the heavier oils out, so it's a lighter, more delicate whisky. It's I think they're the only distiller in the country that does that.
Well, that's
It's
like
pretty
that,
neat,
yeah. And I think Prince, what do you call it, Queen Victoria, Prince Albert, went up there, and I think that's why they built the gate, the Faircairn Gate.
Oh.
So if you actually see, not in this bottle, but I think in the older bottles, they've actually got the old Faircairn Gate, and that's when you come out of the distillery, you can see it.
I was going to ask you something. Faircairn, is there a difference between the old Faircairn, which I've got?
The old one,
Old Faircairn,
oak,
old oil,
yeah.
old Faircairn.
Well, if you bring it in and we drink it, we'll tell you. I think the repackaged, the repackaged, maybe a couple of...
Loosens the bladder a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I think Mackay only bought it about 25 years ago, David, so I can only assume it'd be the previous owners, and White Mackay have just got rid of that sort of that branding. I would suspect, but I don't know.
I think the packaging changed 4 or 5 years ago. I need to research it, but aye.
Green bottle, a green packaging. I don't know what like the bottle is.
Right.
But it's green packaging.
Make sure there's still whiskey in it.
That's right.
No cold tea.
We were all underage when you were buying that type of whiskey, David. We didn't ken that.
That's it. So do we like that one? Who gives that the thumbs up there, guys? It was all
Definitely,
giving the thumbs up. So that's one maybe you would never have walked into a bar and tried. As you know, here at the Mercat Grill, we've got over 400 single malts at reasonable prices that you can buy anyway. Oh! No, the point is I want you to try whiskey, or we want you to try whiskey that you wouldn't have. So we gave that the thumbs up.
Certainly vastly improved with water.
Yeah,
That made a huge difference to it.
Now,
I would say it wasn't good without it.
$1 million question, has the team brought out the second whiskey yet? Yes, well done to them. I give them a round of applause for that. That's it. Do you know that, did you hear the one about the roof?
No.
Don't worry, it'll be over you. It's over your head anyway, but anyway, that's fine. Did you hear the rumour about the butter?
No.
I don't want to spread it.
God,
Bim,
it's a
bim,
tough-
bim, 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 bim.
So, I go and mute him, would you? Whiskey number 2 we're going to try today is Glen Glassaw, which says Port Soy and just outside Bucky on the Moray Firth. This is a 46% one, finished in a port cask. I love a port cask,
Yep.
and you always see that again. You get that reddish, like almost like the red wine colour coming through as well. Glen Glassaw is owned by, now let me think, Ben Riach, the same as Ben Riach.
And
isn't
who
it?
else?
It's,
Who else? And who's the master distiller?
I don't know.
Bill Walker. Glen Allachie. Glen
Glen
Allachie.
Allachie, Bill Walker.
No,
aye.
like, aye, it should be aye. I'm just looking at my notes.
He sold Glendronach. He used to have Glendronach.
Yeah, that's what the things
And-
were. They used to have the Glendronach.
And they sold that, and he's
Yeah.
bought Glen Allachie. now
Glen
he's got that.
Allachie. And as we know, Glen Allachie's an absolute cracker. I think the last time we had a tasting, a few of the boys had a few wee nips, which was excellent.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it, I'm sure it's Foreman Brown who owned that.
It's aye, Bacardi.
Which is, no, it's Jack Daniels.
Oh, right,
They own
yeah,
Jack
yeah.
Daniels
Oh, they
and-
separate.
And I'm a big Scottish nationalist, and all my unionist pals keep telling me whiskey's no profitable, but they've got Thai, they've got Japanese, they've got Americans, they've got the owners of bloody Jack Daniels wanting into the whiskey industry. No, it doesn't make money, does it?
Every other country, aye, for everybody else except for the government and us, but...
But I say it's a 46%, looks really lovely. It's a portwood finish again. 85 is just some useless stats for you. 85% of all single malt whiskies spend some of its maturation time in the American oak. Very few, and it's usually just sherry. So most of these ones here, portwood or redwood or red wine or whatever, has always been in American oak first, probably bourbon. So you'll get that vanilla coming through as well. And the port is previously done in port, and who doesn't like a good port with a cheese board? Now and
the
again.
fromage.
So it's always a nice dry, like a port coming through it.
Talking about cheese and port and cheese boards and port, we've got a friend from Sweden.
Goran?
Goran is on there. He came in to see us I thought it was a couple of months ago, but he came in, it must have been a year ago, and I've just seen he's popped up there, so we'll just say hello. What did we say?
Gordon.
Evening. Good and evening. Something like that. Better watch what we're saying, he didn't get the...
I follow him on social media, he's always swearing on social media.
Oh, and you've got the heavy metal stuff going on.
So let's have a wee look at the glass in here. Get a good sugar. I'm just trying to look at the lights here.
Sugar.
It's a wee bit sort of slower, the legs are sort of dumpier.
That's the ones you like.
A bit like Stuart Blaikie's.
Oh, poor pork chop.
No, that, it's not that dumpy. But you can see again, we forgot to do, we've got a flavour chart here, but the Glencairn certainly would come into the lower left. You'll see it on your tasting notes here. We've got the light, rich, delicate and smoky. And I always say completely ignore what the regions are from. Your Fetter Cairn, but you just look at the legs, light, delicate, the short finish without the water, we take it down to a light, delicate sort of whisky, bottom left-hand corner. This legs are a wee bit slower, a wee bit thicker, which is more oils. And again, just as Graham explained there, the Fetter Cairn, they've got a sort of a lug, or whatever you want to call it, copper lug round the lin arm on the pot stills, and they cool it, and that keeps the heavy oils down. So this is probably one of the lighter, delicate whiskies you'll get in the marketplace. Doesn't matter where that could be, still be made in Islay. It could be made in Isle of Skye, Orkney Islands, and it would still be exactly the same. The region's got nothing whatsoever to do with it. It's the way in the preparation and the maturation and distillation. So a wee look at the glass here, take it up to your nose, and you get the sweetness of the port. It's a dry sweetness from there. First thing it hits me is dried fruit, raisins, sultanas. Very, very sugary, really sweet, like demerara sugar. Plums, cherry. You know, it's almost a classic Christmas cake, that one. You know,
it's very pleasant. I thought you might like this, but this is the way I got this one. I thought you might quite like it.
For me, is that £500?
Exactly. Yeah, £1,000.
Oh, you're beauty. Yeah. I'll take it home with me then. So, how about we taste of this one? Slange.
It's quite.
No, that's good. I like that. The first thing you're getting is the sharpness, almost like a hint of smoke coming through that. No, it's cigar smoke.
There is, aye.
Coming through it. But I'm getting the burnt sugar. It's like burnt brown sugar, caramel, sort of burnt caramel, burnt toffee, you know, that sort of thing. No honey, which is unusual.
No honey.
Doing that, but it's quite a medium to long finish, really sitting on the tongue, absolutely wonderful, and that's without a touch of water. Anybody getting anything different to that? You see
They've actually repackaged, they've rebranded. This was actually the old packaging, but it looks very good, the modern stuff.
Yeah, when you look at it without the water, actually, it's almost like a rosy colour, isn't it? Yeah. And the bright light, that's obviously the port, still obviously the staining from the inside of the port cask. And again, just put your touch of water in, the sweetness comes right through that. Carrot cake, that's what hits me right away with that. Some ice and... do you put demerara sugar and ice in, do you?
Yes.
Do you do that? I don't know.
That's gaggy baggy. He's liking that.
That's really,
that's very
really
good. Pepe, what's your thoughts? You liking that one?
Not every distillery. That's what I say. We ignore what they call in the regions, because Islay is predominantly the peaty, smoky. But if you have a Bruick laddie, classic laddie, Bunnahabhain, there's no smoke. Balvenie do a week of peat, so a Balvenie from Speyside is peat as any. Annock, many do that. So it's really just, they do different expressions. I wouldn't class it as peaty, I would just call it smoky. It's maybe about 15 to 20 ppms. It's just that hint of cigar smoke there, which is very pleasant. It's really nice, yeah. With a touch of water and just opens that up as well. And the finish is fabulous. Yeah. And again, it's a very Christmassy cake.
Yep.
Raisins,
Oh, it's very good, Dave.
sultanas.
That's a nice winter warmer one, that.
Yeah.
Again, that's another one you just wouldn't attack if you went into a place. Pepe, is your family dialed in? Oh, they're not home. Oh, we're gonna wave to them all.
Catch up on YouTube.
They're in New York just now.
My brother lives in New York.
Right.
Yeah, so they will dial in.
If they dial in, we'll say hello to them. Yeah, everybody can have a chat with them. I mean, show them the good whiskey.
But certainly that one gets the seal of approval, Graham.
What about the round of applause? There we go. That was it.
That's a really, really good whiskey. What do you think of that one, Davey?
Nice.
Like
It was like there's a bit of tannins on it as well. Or was that me? Like, was it just me, or was it maybe just my palate's dried out? You know, like when you get a glass of red wine, it just seems to.
That's from the port. You'll get that
so the tannins coming in from that.
Just the remnants of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like Ruzon. Is Ilar and do a real classic red wine cask.
Yes. We done one last time, did we know?
At first it's really sweet, then it gets drier and drier and drier on your tongue and your palate after 2 or 3 minutes. And that's just the tannins of the wine coming through the cask. Yeah.
Very tasty. Well, that is the name. Yes, you've called me.
What's that?
Is that what's on the? Is it Facebook? Is that who's dialing in? I can't tell for some reason. Oh, Stevie boy, Steve Mackenzie's there watching. He couldn't make it tonight. I think he was working, so he was wanting to obviously.
That'd be a new thing for him.
Oh, on his motorbike, he's taking over the job as Boone from Port Chop. You know, I was going to say, how do astronomers organise a party? They plan it. Anyway. Now here's one thing. Hey, Epi, you were on about the peated one. That's the Glendronach that's peated. Have you had that one? That's an absolutely stonking whiskey for the bang for buck. I think it's 40, 50 quid, maybe 60, but it's a good whiskey. So I brought these out just to show you some of the other stuff that was in the range with these guys. Did we say Ben Raick was in it?
Ben Raick.
Ben Raick.
Yeah.
You can see the old branding of the Ben Raick there. And then we've got the new Brian Raick, and that's a smoky one.
I don't know when they took over, about 2016, 2015, 16
For something, I think, what do you call it, the female, was it Barry, no, what was her name, the master blender, the female, Susan, I was going to say Susan Barry, but it's not. She'll come back to it. She actually spoke at the 49 Club years and years ago. Right. I tasted them when we were at the Amber restaurant and the Whisky Experience. Aye. So we're all like that one then. That was good. And we say there's no a bad whiskey, is there?
Some are better than others.
Some are better than others, you know.
And odds on favourite, this has to be the best. Although the next one.
The pressure's on this one. Now, if the staff dished out this next whiskey for yous, they're getting even better. It's only taken them until 9:30 at night, but anyway, I've been running about like a sausage all day. But anyway, they've done well. I hope you all enjoyed your food. Did you enjoy your food? Yes. Yeah, plenty of food, and of course the wee pudding at the end. How did it go with the whiskey? Did it cut through the dark chocolate? Well done. I can tell my ma she's done a good job because she's not here. No.
Pensioners potion for Brian Johnson?
Yeah, Brian Johnson went to the pensioner potion. We mashed up the peas for him so he could eat them with a straw. That's
the
it.
chips.
Suit the chips. But anyway, stop picking on poor Brian. Poor Brian. How can you tell if it's a dogwood tree?
The barks.
By the bark. But anyway, talking about the bark, where's all the wee puppies? We've got some dogs in tonight, so. Right, we're going to show you a little bit of a video clip here, so just get the popcorn out, get the 3D glasses on and listen in and watch what happens here. Hey folks, how we doing? I hope yous are all well. Yes, I'm back at another distillery. I wonder if you can tell what distillery this is. In fact, no you can't. We are, I'll give you a clue, we're in Wick, and it's a small distillery. And here we go. That's right, folks. It's Old Pulteney, quite a very northern one. I'm speculating many years ago it's probably the furthest northern distillery there was. We all know that it's been overtaken by Wolfburn, and then we've got our friends up in John O'Groats with the new distillery. But if I cross over the road here, just so you can see what it all looks like, just looks like a different house. But you'll notice that the colouring on the bricks, you can tell that that's come from the angel share of coming out of the whisky cask, and look how it's coloured the brick on it. But very good, interesting place to come to. Managed to pick up some special stuff, got a couple of distillery exclusives and distillery cask strengths from the cask, so we'll show you that. And here it is here. So that's the Old Pulteney, folks. So there you go. So there's a little blast of Old Pulteney, and we'll speak to you soon. Or see you later, alligator. Look at that. So that was the day we were up in Wick, pork chop, myself and Aggie Baggy and the haggis hunters, we all went up. We stayed at Murray's, our friend's hotel in Wick. Murray's Hotel. No, is it? Murray's Hotel was the name of the hotel. Oh, what's going on there, right? So it was all the way up there. It took us about 6 hours to get back, and on the way up, we actually stopped off at Bill Lumsden's place, Glenmorangie, and we had a nice special visit there where they gave us a good tour. So they all spoiled us, so much so that I sent them a couple of packets of haggis cigars. Thoroughly loved them. And Ed, the manager, went and ran a world record time round the Isla half marathon. So there we go. So well done to him, yes. Because he had all four.
That will shut now, isn't it? It's getting
I
refurbed.
don't know, but that's since it just shows you how much money's involved in it. So anyway, so that was the day up to the top of the island there, Wick. Oh, carry on. Right, Tatty Peel.
Aye, right. Number three on the cards today is Old Pulteney, is Graham described. I've not had the cask strength from it yet. Cask strength, ex Oloroso sherry. Oloroso sherry for me is the most special sherry you can buy, and any whisky you get matured in Oloroso sherry cask, absolutely stunning. Doesn't matter what brand it is, what distillery it's from, it's absolutely fantastic. This is no age statement, but it was bottled.
It's a 15-year-old.
Jeb. And it's 62.31% to be precise. So I would say it's a 62% alcohol by volume. And the one that I'm going to compare it against here is Aberlour Abuna.
Oh yes.
I don't know if you know Aberlour Abuna. It's a fantastic whisky, and that's a 62.3% as well. And when I do tastings, well, I'll tell anybody to taste it. You never know you're drinking a cask whisky until you bloody well try and stand down after 3 or 4 of them. That's when you realise what you've had. So.
Or Neil will buy you a drink. That's how you know.
I got a deep sleep just like you, GB. But no, that's for me one of the best cask strength whiskies you'll ever get in the marketplace. So this has got a real challenge to beat it. But because it's Oloroso matured, I think it's got a really good chance on this one. So I've never seen it before, so we'll give it a nice shuggle.
A wee shuggy.
You look at the glass and you can see how slow the legs are. You've just got, I can't see it in the light. Just got the oil line formed there. There's absolutely no legs coming down there.
Oh,
so it's a nice syrupy, it's going to be really rich whisky, which is right up my street here. So let's take it to the nose and have a
wee
nose at it. Oh, toffee apple right away.
What type of apple, Tony?
Is that a green apple? Nah.
Are you ready?
You will hear it. You will hear it online.
We'll do it anyway, so that Goran and Crazy Dave's dialed in down in Newcastle. I know he's dialing in. Right, you might have heard it down there. That'll keep them happy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just like the toffee apple.
There you go, right. What
toffee,
apple is it?
A green apple, there.
Go for it. There we go. That's a code word there. Green apples, anytime you mention it.
But you're getting like mandarins coming through that as well, just really sweet. Honey, again, brown sugar, barley sugar, sweeties even. Yeah, I think it's, on the nose, that is absolutely stunning. Way up there with Aberlour Abuna. So we're going to have a wee taste of it, see what you think.
Shifty of this. Oh, that's woo! I've not even tried that. When we poured it, we'll show you the video of pouring it in a minute. That's an absolute, that's a dancer.
Big on the
Kerr,
finish.
you liking that?
That's a big hitter. But what I would say against Aberlour is the Aberlour's a lot smoother than that. You know you're hitting a cask strength on that. You're getting the alcohol kick, so that definitely needs a wee touch of water. Yep. But even in the palate, you're getting the sultanas, the toffee, the caramel, nutmeg on that, just a wee bit spices, cinnamon, yeah, just the spices sort of coming through in it, yeah. but absolutely wonderful.
Right, see, you get spoiled at your Uncle Graham's. That's a belter, boys. That's what you do, you go searching for these things.
I hope when you actually put your wee touch of water in there, you looked at it, and when it's such a rich whiskey, the Oloroso, the sherry, you'll see the oils opening up, the flavours opening up, separating there. It's just absolutely great. And on the nose, it's fantastic.
That's it. You want to play that video, Tony? Here's another video just to show you the cask. Here it is. This is pork chop. And here we go. We've got pork chop filling up the car with some diesel. Oh, he's off and running. Are you off and running? Oh, I think I need the toilet. Listen to that noise. Oh my goodness me. How does it feel? Oh,
Whiskey's heavier than you think, you know
it's
that?
speechless. There we go. Now you've not to drink that when it comes out, whatever you do. What's that? Now 700 mils. Not any more, not any less. There we go, well done. Good job.
I'm short of a whisper.
A bit of hee-haw. That's it.
It's
Right.
like being at the garage and trying to sell
Get the car up to
pound
it.
or the euro, you know.
Right, you're going to pop that into the bottle then?
Look at it, let's have a look. Oh, you want to make sure we're all
That's what we're talking about.
There you go. That's just to make sure you're definitely over that mark. There you go.
That's it, right, here we
Pour
go.
in.
Right, pork chop's going for the pour now.
Well, hear the glug. You know it's working when you get a glug?
What a fine sample there.
You think it's like a yard of veil when you tip it too far, it's going to...
It's coming out, well done. There you go, well done, your first bottle in there, Dad. I'll zoom in close. Excellent. Oh, he's shaking it.
Even better, a soapless shirt.
Oh, quick, drink it. Quick, lick your lips.
Later on.
Lick your lips.
It's sorted.
Very good.
Right, now you have to come over here, put the cork on it, seal it up, and
I'll just pop the cork on just to make sure she's properly sealed, but I'll let you wax seal the bottle.
oh, he's going to wax it.
So what you do, take your bottle here, when you're done doing it straight down to the bottom, give it a good swirl, and then lift her out.
Okay. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. There you go, well done. Right, and it's got a dribble there, that's good. That's authentic. I'll zoom that in there, right? Authentic there, folks. Right, now you're going to go
So
and...
what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and I'll have you write out your label. So we'll let that cool off there just now. We'll come back to it and stick the labels on in a wee second. So what we're going to do just now is write out the label for the front of your bottle. You're going to copy this information that's up here on the template. So that's just going to be copied out to everywhere here. The bits that are blank, so bottle number, of course we'll find that out when we get there. Bottled on's today's date and bottled by your name. So I'll let
Well
you.
done.
What's today's date? This
The 9th,
Is it?
the 8th of January 2053. Oh, my time machine's broken. There we go. And how long you been working here for?
6 years now.
6 years.
Yes.
And
May
what
the
was your-
1st, 2017.
And what was your background there?
I just came back from college back in 2017. Came back, had April off, and then got an interview here, started working here, and then I've been here since. So,
Ever since.
yeah.
And so Daniel, what's your favourite whiskey?
of course, it's always Old Pulteney,
Pulteney,
but
yeah.
if I'm being brutally honest, it's the Balvenie 14-year-old ex-Caribbean
All right,
cask.
the Caribbean
Yeah.
cask. Now, out
really
of
like that one.
the Old Pulteney range,
Yeah.
what's your favourite?
So, it usually is the one that we've sold out of, the ex-bourbon cask strength, which is the
Oh.
companion piece to the one we filled up here today. But unfortunately, we sold out of that one last Friday. But the ones we currently sell is the 15-year-old single malt.
So that-
I really like that one, but I think it's more the nostalgia of the memories I've had.
Ah,
Way
right,
back
right.
when, yeah.
I've got to say I'm a bit more than a bourbon than a sherry myself, but you know, as you know, there's no bad whiskey, you know.
Absolutely true.
That's it.
That's true.
That's
Touch
it.
wood.
Touch wood.
Yes.
So, any advice to anybody that likes to drink whiskey?
Big corporate conglomerates owning distilleries. It's Inverhouse.
Can you hear us there, guys? Yeah, everybody can hear.
Inverhouse, who's owned by some Thai king or something like that. So it's a Thailand billionaire. You want to take over describing the whiskies here?
Guys, you want to describe the whiskies for us?
You want to describe the whiskey?
That last one, I would say, all I get for that is cinnamon.
Is that what you're getting, aye?
That's because I don't like cinnamon, so I'm going to be picking up on it. It's a beautiful whiskey.
You tried it with the water?
I did try it with water, and it did split it. I would say it's better. Number 2 for me, fantastic.
Right, okay.
There we
I
go.
haven't tried it with the water yet, so I'm just going to have a wee...
Right, so we're going to try it with the water now. If you're not Peter, we drop in.
It does open it. Again, what I didn't say earlier on is it's 62% ABV. Compared to that by liver, you know you're drinking a cask strength for that, but 2 or 3 drops of water just opens up. Yeah, I'm getting the spices, I agree with you there.
The cinnamon's the big one, that's the big hit for me, because I don't particularly like cinnamon.
I would say it's more nutmeggy. It's not as harsh as cinnamon, but you're certainly getting the toffee and the caramel and real rich honey coming through it. I think it's a fantastic whiskey. 140, 150 pound a bottle, is it worth it? I would say it's alright, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of these ones you would want to try, certainly before you bought, so it's good. Do you know back up in the 1920s they had prohibition in Wick? Did you know that?
Well, they were free.
What had happened was Wick was the centre of the universe or the centre of Europe for fishing, for herring fishing, and at the time the place was overrun, and of course everybody was working all around the clock, so they just ended up being drunk all the time. So the townspeople all gathered together, and there was an act in 1913 to do with prohibition, probably tying in with the Americans, as you can imagine, and they stopped drink in the town up until 1947. So there you go. Where would you went, Tatty Peel?
Long before my time, pal. We used to go to Mercat Club and get a bottle of pale ale out the back door. Couldn't afford whiskey these days.
Yeah.
But no, that's a fantastic whiskey, that one. I really do like that. Oloroso. Yeah, I'm trying to think the other one I just had Oloroso fairly recently when I was in the whiskey vaults. Oh, it was the Glenallachie.
Right.
13-year-old. Done in Oloroso. Oh, stunning. £75 a bottle.
Is that right?
Bottle,
Yeah. Just so happens we were up in Oban on Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday? Sunday or Monday? Anyway, I went into a whiskey bar and the guy says to me, he says, "Oh, you're from East Lothian." I know a guy that does specialises in whiskey tastings from East Lothian. I'm like, can there only be one guy? I'm like, was he bald? Yes. Did he have glasses? Yes. Was he tight-fisted? Yes. Tatty Peel? Yes. There he goes, showed me the business card. But what he failed to tell me, what Tatty Peel had been in a couple hours beforehand, whereas if I had been a bit quicker, he might have bought me a drink. If we were lucky.
I was driving, I was still in Dalmally. I was about 15 miles away. I just went over for my dinner and got a bottle of Bunnahabhain actually in Tesco's I got for 32 quid. So I had that for my nightcap.
Well done.
Every night was away.
I know, yes.
One that's quite interesting with them, see when you said about the first whiskey there, about the bottles representative of the still.
Yes. It's identical.
Exactly the same.
Yes.
Exactly the same, and you notice that king is at the low level compared to the high level.
On the pot stalls.
Well,
That's what will tell you the difference between mostly colour. That's your big difference that you'll get between them.
I'm glad you brought that up, because if you actually, I gave Tony a picture, I don't know if he'll have it on, right, but the stills, the 2 stills in them were actually original when they went into the distillery, and when they were putting them in, the roof was too low, so back in the 60s, the distillery manager said, just cut the roof off the still. Now, you know yourself nowadays, if they're doing a still, they replicate it, and even if there's a dent in it, they'll go and bang the same dent in, and here's this manager in the 1960s saying, just cut the top of it, and when you look at it, there are 2 ones like that, and then the other one's, at a right angle. And of course, obviously, that's what the flavour.
They've got the position to do that. There's a photograph in Glenkinchie, the same angle as 8 or 8 to 9. New pot stalls in actually used to take the roof off.
Yeah.
And all distilleries to do that.
That's
an interesting point we talk about pot stills. You know, the 136 distilleries, single malt distilleries in Scotland, not 2 pot stills are the same shape and size. Every single one is a completely different shape and size, but that gives you the meatiness of the spirit when you're doing it. Yeah.
Another thing about the shape of the bottle, going back to the shape of the bottle, that is the shape of the pot still that Stephen was pointing out to you. So that was certainly a cracking bottle for.
Very good,
that. Maybe put that in auction, see if I can pay for my tea.
Well, for me, GB, it has to be 3-2-1.
3-2-1, right? Who was?
Other Russell.
Right, what were you thinking out there, folks? For some reason, I can't see anybody's comments out there. But 3-2-1, so we have this one. What about you guys over there? What did you like? First one? Third one, number one?
Second's
the first one for Stephen. All right, is that right? So you went.
two's the majority.
And then that one.
Every single one.
Yeah, they were all belters. What about down the bottom there, Pepe? What were you?
I mean, they're all nice whiskies, but of course 3-2-1 is definitely the.
Yeah.
I've got a special link to Old Company.
With having the.
It's actually the first street I took to Scotland together with my wife to be. So the lane was 2015
Yeah.
all the way up to John O'Groats.
Right.
And then I bought
Done the bottle there.
so that has a special place. in my
That's it. Very good. Well done, Pepe. So that's good. What about the boys? What do you think, chaps? 3-2-1. Piece of gravy. 2-1-3. Davy Pringle.
When you hit 8 to know your taste buds
Your
change.
taste buds go. What about Brian? 3-2-1. And I wouldn't ask Georgie Podgy. Number 2 for my mammy. 2 was 2-3-1.
2-3-1.
Right. 2-1-3. What about number 4? Who liked number 4? There was there number 4, but anyway. But going back to just before we finish up here, Old Pulteney's tied in with Balblair, same distillery. Pepe was up there. He's got some nice Balblairs. I've got a couple of I've got an 18 there, and we've got a limited edition, which is an absolute stonker. It's the same company.
I passed that last week.
Yeah, it's was that painful.
Monday, aye.
Yeah, and it's also with the
Don't encourage him. Don't laugh. For him it is, aye.
very unwise choice to leave all my
Yeah, maybe I'll keep them company. But it's also when they filmed the movie this Angels Share. And just to say that I've done the same thing as what I've done in Wick at Balblair. So I've got a couple of bottles tucked away for a later tasting that we're going to do.
So I've got Singleton.
Right, I need to get my passport stamped up there, but that's that. So anyway, Tatty Peel, right? Have we all enjoyed ourselves, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Yes. That's been good. Just before we wrap up, the 21st, Stephen, the 21st of October for you guys, if you want. We have the 1775. What's the distillery? Glen Turret are coming in on this 21st of October to do a special tasting with us, so we're lining that up. I'm just waiting for them to come to me and see what whiskies we need to buy so I can work out the price. But I've asked them to try and see if they've got anything tucked away for us, because they've already got probably about 4 in their core range. This year's editions just got launched last week. And the first ones they made them release was like Hen's team, and it was obviously a pal that they built up McCallum that's moved over there. So Lalique, the company that have owned it, put a lot of money in it. They've also got the Michelin star restaurant in it.
Yeah. I think there's Pete when they talk about.
Yeah,
everybody talk about Pete.
Aye.
Just in the middle of Persia.
21st of October. I can't think. Maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe it's
We'll not be in it. It's all right.
August, September, October. It's in here.
Well, nothing happening in September?
Yeah, wait a
We
minute.
did say 21st October, I'm sure.
There is it. Aye, it's 21st of October. Yes. Was that the World Cup final, rugby? Oh well. We'll just have to come and watch the rugby first and have a taste and simple. We'll make it work. Exactly. I've not even got the World Cup final in here. But anyway, as well, talking about rugby, we've got all the rugby on for the World Cup. On the 10th of September, we've got a big barbecue with the NFL's pre-seasons, or the season starting that day as well. So anyway, enough plug in the pub. Thank you very much, Tatty Peel. You enjoyed yourself, everybody? And obviously, yeah, we'll just wrap up and we'll put Pepe's video on at the time. And thanks for joining us. Enjoy a few more drinks before you disappear. Drink responsibly. Finish what's in your glass. And Pepe, I brought this for you, by the way, just because I knew they were. Chuck that over to Pepe. There you go. There's a wee gift for you. Scottish License Trade hat for you. Keep you warm. Keep you warm. Right. Thanks very much for that. Thanks for everybody coming. Tight Bill. Cheers. And what we're going to say?